Excuse me, I'm just coming in from the cold from my run and I gotta share the messages the way they come. I'm a working man, so I'm busy. Anyway, bro, rude boy Rasta, overcome, ease out. You know what I'm saying? See, this message is not sugar coated, it's a full grain message with more content but no sugars added, so I don't know whether you can digest it or not. It's about the narcissistic dead mother. Alright. See, the narcissistic mother is dead per definition. Whether she really is physically dead or not does not matter. Self absorption, a lack of true empathy, entitlement, and a lot of other traits make the mother dead from the perspective of the child. The goal of the dysfunctional family unit is to repeat cycles, to let cycles repeat, is the conscious or unconscious goal. They do this by idealizing the dead mother. This is the same principle as the personal narcissistic quote unquote individual has a grandiose self image, which means they require codependents to idealize them, to validate the false grandiose self-image they have. The same thing happens in the grand scale of the narcissistic family unit. So the narcissist individual runs away from the truth, from authenticity. And the same again happens. This is just sweat, sorry, I was running. I'm not crying yet. They're running away from their true self, right? And this is why they create the shared fantasy spaces, why the family is a cult that has inside rules that never show to the outside, and so on. Anyway, the grand scale within the family dynamic is that this dead mother, that is, if you were honest, dysfunctional and the reason for all the problems and struggles, will be idealized, so it's not allowed to speak or think or express the truth. And by idealization, she is being kept alive, and her picture is also projected on her descendants. So if it's a mother, it will project it on the kids. So the firstborn kid will be supposed to be the same as this feminine idealized picture. It can also come from somewhere from the past, but it will overshadow all the generations. And this interferes with many things, with the whole development of the children, because there is no honesty in how parents, elders, and people who should be a role model, there is no honesty, but only idealization, how it's dealt with. And this wrong picture is being projected on the kids. It will create a golden child that is supposed to be following this lineage of idealized people, whether it's now, if it's a mother, it will go through the female side of the family mostly. If it is a father, it will go through the male side, and it can happen simultaneously. How it interferes with the development of the child is that the child is not free to develop the way it is, but it is being coerced into becoming an image of this idealized other person. And when it behaves in a way that supports the narcissistic shared fantasy of this idealized dead person, it gets rewarded. And if it does refuse to do it, it gets punished. And this will create a spirit of obedience or rebellion. So we have the splitting nature of narcissists, we have the idealization, we have the coercion, and the child is not free to really become what it wants to be. Also, the roles of parenting are reversed because I already told you, narcissists do have a they have parenting within their intimate relationships. So the grown-up narcissists parent each other in an intimate relationship, but when it comes to children, they often reverse the roles. So they let the children parent them. They let the children validate their shared fantasy, and they do this unconsciously because they know no better. Okay? So they have the shared family fantasy, and it is often not aligned with what they project to the outside. So they are not true to either one of them. Because, the narcissists don't know themselves who they are, and they also don't know who the people are that they idealize, because it's all a kind of fake image that is fed and fueled by people who validate it. Okay? And the children are used to do this, and this is a reverse role of parenting, because normally the parents should validate the child in whatever way the child wants to be. And in a narcissistic family unit, again, we have the golden child and we have the scapegoats. And both these extremes destroy the child's personality and character. Idealization destroys a child. Idealization means conditional loving, and coercion and no freedom to develop. It means developing after a blueprint of a delusional grown-up family structure. And the rejection of the scapegoat, so rejection is the other pole, the extreme is idealization, the other extreme is rejection. Both is very bad for child development because of different reasons, and both will encourage or increase the chance that the child might become narcissistic or having another severe, probably unreversible personality disorder. So what you can do as a parent to work against this, or let's frame it positive, to do the best for your child will be to not idealize and not reject your child, and also not reverse the roles of parenting, which means you support the individuation of your individual child, and you understand that your child is not you. It is a remix of all the things that have always been there, of all the DNA of your past, of the ancestors, but it's a remix of it, okay? And it can be better than you could, give your child a chance to do better than you. And if you force your child to be the way you want it to be, like a very rigid father would, you would try to force your child to do what you want it to do, but not be a good role model necessarily. I believe the best way is to live what you want your child to learn. So don't force your child to be, tidy the room up, to be living in order. No, don't force it. Do it yourself, and then a child can learn it from you truly. And if you want to force your child as a rigid father, you activate the spirit of obedience, which will make your child be as bad as you was. So you take away the chance. When your child is obedient, you take away the chance for the child to be better than you did. But if you reject the child, you if you force it, what I said is that you take away the chance for the child to be better than you. But if you idealize it, you force eternal parenting on the child, so you trauma bond it to you, because it can never be free, because you tell the child, oh, I will always save you, I will get you all out of all troubles for all the time, I will always be your daddy. No. Don't idealize the child. It will not be ready for reality then. It stops your child from individuating from you. And yeah, and rejection is also not, yeah, rejection would mean you force the child, but it then goes to rebellion mode because it feels it's not good to be forced, and then you reject it, and this will take away all the chances for your child, okay? So the core message is why the narcissistic family patterns repeat, and this is because of an ongoing idealization of bad role models, basically, that are grandiose themselves. So there are grown-up spirits that run away from the truth about themselves. This is why they idealize their grandiosity, and they want to force the child to do the same mistakes over and over again. Or they scapegoat it, and nothing of this will create a great character in your children. So you understand.